All right, welcome everyone to episode 19 of the Galaxy podcast. Today we are joined by a content creator of Fisch that I've known him. I don't know if he's heard of me, but I've known of him from multiple other content creators that I've heard, smaller ones that's mentioned him a couple times. Today we're joined by Zeemo. How are you today, man?
Pretty good, man. First things first, I want to thank you for having me on the podcast. Also, second, I want to shout out them boys and Shining Stars. That's my little team that I'm with. They've been showing unlimited support. I want to shout out my wife for keeping my mental sanity set so I can content create and can stream and stuff like that. And you know,
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. I seen that clan page and I wanted to dive into that and see what that all was about.
okay. So Shining Stars was actually made. I think it was estimated about 2023, 2022, somewhere in there. All I know is that it is a multi-game content creating a competitive team for whatever games that are out there. I've seen our Roblox side get a lot stronger since I've been there. I've inspired some of the creators and the leads to even start making content on Roblox. Even got a few of them on Fish, and they really like having me over there. So I'm really glad to have them guys with me. So
That's what's up. I
yes, sir, yes.
I used to be in the Call of Duty community. I used to be in esports. Heck, I even owned a team at one point, and
Uh,
I got out once I got out of that. Now I'm a content creator for Acrylic HQ for the time being. I was a general manager for some other esports teams and leagues that needed help around there, but content creation is where I wanted to be, and
oh yeah.
that's where I started. Did you start somewhere else besides Roblox, or did you
So
dive into that?
honestly, Okay, so honestly, I started out on a game called IMVU. I was originally making outfits on a like virtual 3D world video game. They had outfits, and I was putting them together and I started doing like dances and I put like a Mickey Mouse head on it and it actually went viral. Ended up reaching, I think it was 1.1 million views, spiked my followers to I think it was 11,000 followers in one day. Eventually started seeing comments of people saying like what kind of outfits they wanted to see, and so my content really started from there. Eventually after COVID had left, I went into the 2K community and I went by the name of Screens. A lot of people know me by Screens 2K, Screens PS. I've had my own teams, led them to, successful times. Had merch, had a bunch of clan battles, fun events. And then eventually 2K started dying out, and I want to say it was probably this year, was my final straw with 2K. I mean, I played from here to, here and then. Um, but I do like playing a lot of Roblox. It was my dream ever since I was a little kid was to create content, become a YouTuber like Gaming with Kev, FGTV, Russo, all those people I sat there and watched, especially Dennis Daily, and that was like a daily basis thing for me is going and watching YouTubers and seeing what I could do and see what qualities I have from them and kind of put it in my own motion. So I started playing Fish and at first I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. My wife suggested me the game and we started playing it at first. It got really addicting. Spent 4 hours the very first time touching the game. And eventually I started getting traction from Fish, started getting hella views, hella followers. As you see, I am at 19.8K on TikTok because of Fish. I started what 15.9K. Yeah, 15.9K is originally what I started with at the end of 2K. And from there to this 19.8K, that's where I gained my Fish community, even made Discord server with, 150 plus members. You might have to do clear outs and stuff like that.
Heck yeah.
Um, but yeah, no. I originally wanted to do Roblox, but I never figured out where to start for real.
Yeah, for me, I honestly, I started out on like Minecraft. That's where my
Oh,
content creation started. But that was back in like when I was super young, like third grade, stuff like that. I've been trying to do content creation for the longest times, and like you can look at the old video. I still have it saved. My very first video back in like I think it was first grade is when I posted it, and I have it like a
wow.
squeaker voice. I'm like holding up an iPad recording like a computer screen. Do you guys like my bass or whatever? And I've been trying for a long time, and then I've ventured on, ventured off, and uh, one thing that I've seen, Roblox has a big. It's a huge community. First off, but
It
if you look
really,
at like big streamers for Roblox, you can only name one or two. Like you, like
yeah,
the first person I hear is Creekcraft, and then if you name another one,
Minecraft. Yeah.
you don't really hear any other Roblox streamers. They're usually a
Not at all.
multi-game streamer. There's no like big streamer. And if you go on Twitch, if you look at the top viewers count, it's like 200, and
Yeah.
it
No.
there's a lot of opportunity there.
Oh yeah. That's really why I wanted to start Roblox is I seen a really good community and I kind of wanted to bring myself into it and see what I could do. And with the way things are going, I think it went pretty well. Getting the content creator title in Fish was one of my biggest achievements and probably something, eventually I want to, up my tiers, get my followers up, and eventually, have my own in-game items in Fish, of course. I've seen like Carbon Meister be able to get that shit
Yep.
done, and it's amazing, bro. I like it. I love the Fish community, especially, the loyals. The loyals, they will come and they will watch and they will go and they'll come back next stream, and it just keeps going, man.
Yeah, that's one thing because if you stream like Call of Duty, that is you can't stream Call of Duty because if you look at the low viewers, it's one viewer after one viewer, and the chance of you
Yeah.
get one person in there for however long you stream, that's crazy. And if you go to
Yeah.
Fortnite, same thing. But like people dog on Roblox for being a kids game, but you got to think there's multiple different games. And yes, Fish is kind of a kids game, but at the same time it's not. It's just a grinding game
Right.
that's for fun. And I got the content creator role. That was the first role I got. I ended up getting it in United Football or whatever. It's UF Football is what it's called.
Oh
So
yeah,
I
you talk
got
about ultimate football, right?
Ultimate Football. Yep. I got or Universe Football. I couldn't remember the name off the top of my head, but I got content creator in there
Nice.
too.
Wow, no, that's huge. I be seeing universal football all over my For You page, watching people post highlights, and I was like, you know what, I might give it a try. I might not. Don't know. I really don't want to veer out from Fish because that's where my success seems to be.
Hmm.
I tried to start, Beaks, and Beaks just doesn't feel right to me. Um, Fish is something where I grew and I kind of want to just keep growing it. I did forget to mention I did start creating content for Fortnite. Eventually got a creator code, and I kind of veered off from Fortnite because they just started getting worse.
Yeah,
And
Fortnite
that's
got
eventually
bad.
when Roblox came. Yeah, Fortnite got so bad they started adding the Call of Duty movement. I was like, bro, which one am I playing?
Exactly.
Call of Duty or am I playing Fortnite? I'm playing Call of Duty and building. Like,
I
it
played
doesn't
it
mix
back
up.
in its prime, and I go back and even just playing like the old map, and I'm like I can't even play casual. You have to play sweaty. You just it's not like it used to be, and used to be able to go in a lobby and have a great time, and then now you go into a lobby and some guy's 50 feet above you already before you even start the fight. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah, no, it is crazy. I remember watching like Fortnite, YouTubers and TikTokers like Ninja and FaZe Jarvis and stuff like that, and just seeing them all veer and part ways to other games. As console is even just falling off in general, and PC is taking over. Schedule One, Chain Together was a good one.
Yep.
Only Up was a good one. Only Up still pulls views to this day because people make so much money just farming, being good at the game, and people just sending gifts.
Hmm.
It's crazy to me. I would try it, but honestly, I feel like I wouldn't even know where to start.
There is one game that I always recommend Roblox content creators to try. It's Rivals. I don't. You've probably heard
Rivals.
of it.
Do be playing Rivals. I do be
Rivals
playing
gets
Rivals.
lots of viewership, especially if you run tournaments. I run a tournament every Friday and Saturday night, and even if it and like I have an economy in my Discord, and you win money in that, and we have people that gamble in my Discord a lot, so they go in there and get a gambling addiction. Heck, I had an innocent kid go in there, and now he has a gambling addiction, and he'll he'll win like 100K from one, and then he's like, I gotta get a million, and he's all the way up to a million. He said, dude, I could get 10 million, and then he'll just lose it all. Have like 10 or 12 million, just lose it all in one day. I'm like, come on. But like onto you
Yeah,
saying about the people coming back to stream, I couldn't believe, actually, the reason I got into Roblox, I was streaming NCAA football, and I was trying to get my content creating back up again. And I had a girl, she told me to try out Roblox Doors. So I played Doors with her.
that.
That's how I actually started streaming Roblox, was through Doors. And I started on Doors, and then I slowly gained viewership. And one of my top viewers, Mino, uh, he has not missed a single stream since my first stream. With
That's
Since
amazing.
he first came in, and he is dedicated. And he might have missed like one stream, but that wasn't on my normal schedule. But even my first viewer that came in for Roblox that played with me, one of my first viewers that played with me, still comes to stream. He's not an everyday
That's
person, but he's
amazing.
still a mod. And
Right.
the community is super loyal. And then you can see the
It
Discord.
really
I've grown this Discord to 750 members, and the community is just super loyal. And then we come in the VC every time we stream, have a great conversation every night for 3 to 4 hours. It's just amazing, the community that Roblox has.
yeah. Roblox community has always been something that a lot of people overlooked and underlooked at the same time. Some people who have a different niche, for instance, someone who's playing Fortnite tries to come over to Roblox. Their viewers might not want to watch Fortnite and they want to see Roblox, or it's vice versa. Um, and honestly, it's underlooked because, like you said earlier, everyone thinks it's a kid's game. You're blowing up off a kid's game and stuff like that. I've seen so many, different things that could be proof to why Roblox is not a kid's game.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh yeah.
it's a little insane how Roblox has grown. And that was another thing you pointed out, that you had like a streaming schedule. I've never had a set stream schedule. Usually like I would sit there and I would stream just in my free time. Like it's kind of crazy. Um, I've never had a set stream schedule.
Yeah, I started the stream schedule. I just started it because a lot of stuff is done with consistency. I used to weigh 330 pounds, and now I'm down. I'm cutting again right now. I'm at 209. And one of the biggest things is consistency. Same thing with business. I'm a partner in a real life business, and the biggest thing is
Oh, yeah.
consistency. So I've thought, if I'm consistent with the time I go live, and the consistent with videos, promotion, marketing, and just the amount of time, you can really be consistent, and that will grow. Because if you don't go live at the same time, some people will say, "Oh, we'll go watch somebody else." But if you're consistent, they'll wait for you, and if they're like, "Oh, he's going to be live. I'm going to take time out of my day because I know he's going to be live today." And
Oh yeah.
that's one of the greatest times. But the thing with me, I know I've talked about this in a lot of my past broadcasts. I mean, not broadcasts, podcasts. and that I got too strict about my schedule. I started the 75 hard. I don't know if you know what that is, but I started the 75 hard, and that caused an issue because it took a lot of time out of my day, and then I kind of had to stop doing uh, being strict starting live at 9 o'clock. So now I have a time frame when I go live, and that's kind of helped out a whole lot better.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to have, being able to actually fit that in your day, knowing how every day's gonna go. Um, Honestly, like I thought about starting a stream schedule at one time. Like I feel like I actually like had set one and I just never followed it
Hmm.
because like my days they just range out differently. As you've seen, I have a kid. I actually have two kids. One is, you know, reaching 4 months, and the other one, he's over a year old. And then I also have a wife. Like I said, she's kept me on my toes of being mentally stable enough to content create and to stream and actually keep a good attitude whenever I'm streaming. Because originally I'm from Cortland, New York. I am a D1 crash out. D1 crash out. And sometimes it'll get bad.
Oh
It will
yeah.
get really bad.
Yeah, it does get bad. I've had some pretty bad crash outs playing rivals, and I've actually had to wrap my hand once because I hurt my hand because I get mad and just slam my desk super hard, and
Yeah,
it's
that
common. And
happened.
I'm a crash out. I'm a Call of Duty player. What do you expect? I've grown up on Call of Duty. I've witnessed all the crash outs. I've had the crash outs. I've broken controllers. I don't know why I haven't broken something here. Maybe it's too expensive of equipment, but it, it
Hey, that's good motivation right there.
yeah, I mean,
Having expensive equipment, man. Shit, like right now I'm using the my gaming laptop is like 1600. And like I try my hardest not to punch it. If I see a Xbox controller, I might shatter my wrist or both of my wrists on the controller.
yeah, I got.
Tapping before, so
I usually stream off my PC and then I have my Xbox. That's how I usually play. But
you use
recently,
Elgato or
yeah, I use an Elgato, and
yeah, I'm starting to try to stream off my PC. Whenever I stream off my console, yeah, I do use my Elgato as well.
yeah, I got three
Um,
monitors.
just
I
to
got my
stream.
gaming monitor, then I got my PC, and then I got a portrait PC above me as well. And that usually just
Wow.
runs Discord.
Yeah, no, that's dedication right there, man. I've always stuck to at least. I think at one point I had two monitors, and recently my other monitor gave out on me, and right now I'm just using one, and then my gaming laptop that I usually run everything from 40. I think it's a 4060 RTX.
Hmm.
It's a pretty good gaming laptop. It's
Facebook
never failed me.
Marketplace is the best place to get monitors, in my opinion. You can get a good, like if you just want a PC monitor, you're not gonna game off of it. 60 frames per second. It's like 10, $20.
Oh yeah,
Simple,
nah,
and heck, you can get a 20-inch TV and it works. I think my one
right?
monitor is a 20-inch TV, to be honest with you, but I think it's
Wow,
it might be. I can't remember when I set it up, but it
nah, I
works
ain't
and
lying.
people use TVs. Heck, I got a viewer. He has like a 40-inch screen TV and he has it duct taped to his bed. And and instead of like drilling holes and mounting it, he showed it and it's like duct taped the corners. I'm like, bro. He said it works, man. That's all that matters.
No, hey, yeah, as long as it works, bro. As long as there's nothing being TV. You got a lot to see on 40 inches, though. Tell me.
I used to game off a 50-inch screen TV. I had that rocking chair, X Rocker gaming chair, and I got that in like 2015, and that's just a prop at this point because I didn't replace that until last year when I bought my house. So
Wow.
and I just had a basic office chair, and then I ended up buying my gaming chair this year, and I used that in a 50-inch screen TV and an Xbox for years, and and a regular Xbox One. I didn't upgrade till like last year when I started streaming again, and
Wow.
I redid my whole setup. I got monitors, PC, new controller, lights, everything. I got merch now. I got a flag
Yeah,
for
no,
merch,
that's what
bro.
I definitely do. Is I've always been interested in getting my own merch and, figuring out how to get it to, my supporters, doing merch giveaways for whatever follow amount that I go to. I still have yet to figure that out. I tried to partner with someone by the name of Evo9 on Twitter, and all they really wanted was commission. So they were saying you have to get this much orders in a week, like it has to happen or we're gonna close your store. So I need to figure out myself, how am I gonna be able to produce merch, t-shirts, hoodies, mouse pads, whatever I can find. Um
For me, I was originally going to use a local company. I'm in Indiana, and there's a company called 66 Apparel. They make jerseys and stuff like that. I knew them because I used to have an esports team. Then my buddy
right.
Lego, he recommends me because I stream off Streamlabs. Streamlabs lets you create your own merch store for free when you stream off them. So you can create your own merch. Like I made this, I made the flag, I've made all my merch that I've put out, and you can use a merch store, and you got a link. The only thing is it says it has Streamlabs in the title, but who cares? And then you can adjust the
Right.
profit margins. So if you want to make $20 off a t-shirt, you can make $20 off t-shirt. But me
Yeah.
personally, I'm like, I'm not one of those streamers that you're going to have to pay $40 or 30, $40 for a t-shirt or a sweatshirt because I make my money off streaming. I got a full-time job. If you want to support me, you gift me. If you I want people to wear my stuff for cheap. Like this shirt, you can get
Right.
this for $18. I make $3 profits. It's like you're gifting me a sub because you
Oh yeah.
make $3 off a sub. You're like giving me a sub just by giving me like buying a t-shirt from me. And then you go out and rep that. Oh, somebody sees it. Well, heck, they're going to want to check it out. They've never seen that
Oh yeah.
type of t-shirt before. So, it's like it's more about the marketing than it is the money, in my opinion.
Yeah. It really is. To be honest, like I said, I want to get it to the point, like if I do end up making my merch store, sadly I stream off of OBS.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use Streamlabs. I used to use Streamlabs and something went wrong with it and I just stopped using it. I wanted to get to the point, like I said, I wanted to get merch, get a bundle or so, sent here and physically be able to ship it to people for, loyalty of, just being able to show me support of, how many hours they have in the stream, or, how many, you know, how many people they've shared it with and stuff like that. Like you said, it's not about the money at that point. It's just you're doing it because you like doing it,
Mm-hmm.
um I definitely would end up making like my own merch. If I knew how to, I would definitely go and do it.
Yeah, Streamlabs, it's very self explanatory. I don't know if you even have to stream off Streamlabs. But the only reason I use Streamlabs is because of the benefits. Like, I get a free Stream Deck if you like subscribe for a year. So I get a free Stream Deck, and it was like $180 brand new, but it was $180 for the subscription. So it's a free Stream Deck, and then you get all these qualities from Streamlabs. I'm like, well, heck, I'm just gonna buy it, and then I get a free Stream Deck as long as everything
Right.
else. So even if you don't resubscribe, you still got a free Stream Deck from them for the price of one. I mean, price of two.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, that's amazing.
Streamlabs, the only thing I didn't want to do it because I thought about getting a printer, doing it myself. I pick the brand that I want, and then but here's the thing: you got to buy the printer, then you got to buy the shirts, you got to buy the sweatshirts, you got to do it all yourself, and then you got to ship
Right.
it.
That can
Well,
get tiring.
Yeah, and then shipping's
That can be really
expensive because you got to pay for. If you don't have bulk shipping material, that gets expensive. And then if you buy from a company, you got to buy in bulk. So you're going to have to buy like 10 t-shirts at a time, and that's only going to be in like one size or a couple sizes. And then so you're going to have bulk laying around in inventory, but you're not going to be able to sell it special. And then you're going to have money tied up in inventory, and then it's just like, and then shipping's expensive right now. So if you don't have the shipping material for yourself, you're going to be paying like, I don't know. I think the last time I shipped something that I didn't have shipping material was like $9-10, and it was,
Yeah.
and that was just for the basic shipping. So it's like it's kind of a win-win situation. Streamlabs, they put out, they have multiple different items. I have a T-shirt, I have a sweatshirt in the closet. I also have a tie-dye T-shirt that's embroidered. I got my flag up there. I think that's everything that I have. But there, you can make hats. I'm not a big hat guy. If I do, I wear it backwards, so there's no point. So, and there's multiple different things you can buy, and like I'm a big Under Armour fan. I That's what I strictly live by, Under Armour. So they just released Under Armour sweatshirts, so I had to make a quality T-shirt of a because it's
Oh
quality,
yeah.
even though it's like
Oh yeah.
$70. I know none of my viewers are probably gonna buy it, but it's pure quality sweatshirt.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, along the line of streaming and content creating, eventually you're going to get recognition from companies and they're going to want to either, partner or they're wanting to collab or something. And that's where it all starts. I had a photo shoot with Cause. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a really popular figurine, and the artist, I don't remember his name, but he's from New Jersey, and he wrote, he had made these things, and they have like X's over their eyes. Pretty sure my profile picture shows kind of what the figurine looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I had a photo shoot with them over at a museum that's like right down the road.
Hmm, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I've also had like the small sponsors like Dubby and Poggers and stuff like that. I feel like that's every content creator's start out.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dubby, Poggers. I've seen people with Ghost. I've seen people with Bang.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I definitely I definitely want to get up there to where I'm sponsored by a big company, and that's obviously everyone's goal, is to get sponsorships and be able to earn money from what they do, not from their viewers but from brands that are interested in your work.
Yeah, and that's one thing. A lot of people they get sponsored by people, just anybody. And like me personally, I don't want to be sponsored. I just seen this. I was listening to a podcast today, and it really hit me hard because it was like a lot of people get sponsored by anybody because they're all in for the money. Me personally, if I don't believe in their product, why should I do it? Like I had,
Right.
uh, it was like a controller company. They reached out to me to sponsor my esports team, and I bought a modded controller from them to see how it was, and they gave me a discount. I said, "This sucks." I said, "I would never use this product whatsoever." I said, and heck, I still have it because you got to press a button on the back to activate it. But then it's just a
Right.
basic. It's one of my best Xbox controllers that I've had because I never used it. But the cheats sucked, and like you'd be in
Right.
COD and it would be like drop shot and it would just crouch up and down like this ain't drop shotting, dude. I'm like, this controller sucks. I'm like, I'm not going with you. And then all these energy drink companies, they send me samples. And I said, you can get cheap C4 better than this. I said, this is,
C4 is amazing. I've lived off of C4 for like the past year.
yeah.
C4 has always been the energy drink because I actually had an incident where I decided I wanted a lot of energy. Took pre-workout and Monster and I
Mhm.
mixed it. And yeah, I almost went out that day.
There's a lot of stuff I go to. Lit AF is the best pre workout that I use. That's my favorite. When I go to a competition, that's what I use. And then I got Bangs. That's my second favorite. Not just partially just because it's 0 calorie. I Bangs is there, and then I gotta go with Monster. Monster is definitely right
Monster,
behind it because
really.
you got to get the orange juice, and then you got like the coffees. A lot of people diss on the coffees, but the coffees are low key kind of good in my opinion.
Yeah, I've tried them, and I think I tried the triple shot.
Hmm.
That was the stuff that messed me up. Working overnight, so I was like, man, I'm super tired. It's time to get that jolt of energy. It's a little too much.
Now, me personally, I'm not a Red Bull person. I just that tastes like battery acid to me, and I work on cars, and I'm like, I don't want Red Bull,
Really,
and the
like,
designs are horrible. I'm like and then it's Red Bull gives you wings, the commercial, and then I hear all the stuff, and it's just annoying. Who cares if it gives you wings, bro? You get a
it
monster, you're
really
gonna run
doesn't give
somebody
you.
over as a monster, bro. You got bangs. I don't even have to describe what I'm gonna say with bangs, but still, it's great. All the stuff that you could do, and
Yeah,
but if I don't believe in the company, I'm not going to be sponsored by it. That's my personal thing.
exactly. And a lot of people will sit there and get sponsored just to say they're sponsored by somebody, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I had like actually bought some stuff from W, like a hat. I bought a hoodie, bought some stickers for my PS4 that I had a long time ago. Upgraded the Xbox after I got my account took in 2K22. Yeah. Um. But yeah, no. So my yeah, my whole thing was, just starting out small. May not try like the products or anything like that, but like being able to sponsor them by wearing some sort of their merch.
Mm-hmm.
If they're an energy drink person, I'll sit there and I'll take like a minute and be like, hey, you guys want to try new energy? Here you go. This is the people right here. They sell this. Tell them use my discount code, and then boom. It's like a commercial break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I would if Bang reached out, Monster, Bang, Monster, Lit AF, or like Under Armour. Yeah, yeah, I'm taking the deal. I don't care. Even if it was like $5 a month, I'm taking the deal. I'm sponsored by a huge company. And
Right.
I said, I don't care. But like these other companies, they're like, we're not gonna give you anything. Here's a 10% off code. That ain't a sponsorship. That ain't
That's
no.
partnership.
That ain't no
Um,
sponsorship. And they're like, you earn commission based off what they get, but you don't get commission unless you reach this amount. I'm like, this isn't
yeah.
sales. I said, this isn't. I said, we're not an insurance, okay? But that's just it is what it is.
Yeah. I feel it. I definitely feel it.
Well, I want to also dive in. What really did you see that made you grow in fish? Like
Um,
personally.
Honestly, and I don't want to sound like everybody else, but I saw a lot of, competitiveness. I saw a lot of grind worthy, things that I could do in Fish. Fish back then, whenever I was there, I think the Phantom Egg was finally brought out. I just loved Fish. I was sitting there countless hours and going and streaming it because numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the numbers I was pulling. It was something different, and I actually had fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Me sitting there playing 2K and wanting to rip my hair out. I'm not enjoying the game. I'm just streaming it so people will watch.
Mm-hmm.
But Fish is both. There's times where I'll be like, man, like I'm stressed. I'm not gonna play this game. I'm just gonna play something else. And I'm trying to build my community off of multi from Roblox though, because I want to be a Roblox content creator because the community is so loyal and so gigantic. There's a lot of opportunity.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no. Whenever I started playing Fish, I started seeing people in my chat, and they were like, they pull up, and I would see a content creator title above them. I was like, this is insane. Like people going over there and be like, whoa, this man can give me a rod. I'm like, no, I can't. Only devs and admins can give rods, and I still have people asking me to this day, can you give me try hard rod? I'm like, no, I physically can't. If I was a dev, if I was admin, I'd give it to people who wanted to try a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's also something that I wanted to do is I wanted to make my own game that way I could be some sort of dev or admin to give end game item to people that want a challenge or whatnot.
Yeah, that's Fish for me. I kind of got into it late. When I first started, a lot of my viewers recommended me it because I started out indoors. I streamed 4 hours of doors, shortened it to 3 hours of doors, and then I'm like, doors is boring. And then we tried rivals and split hour and a half each, and then we brought in Fish, and I tried out Fish, and at first I hated Fish. I said, this game sucks. I said, you're caching minnows, you're catching boots. I said, you can't get to level 15 quick enough. I said, you're stuck on this island. You can't even swim. I said, this sucks. And
Oh yeah.
I played one, two, or three times, and I was very against Fish. And then finally, I got into it, and then a guy named Void, he coached me through it, and he was like, "Do this, do that, do this, do that," and then he kind of carried me for a long time, getting me stuff. And then I had a guy that came in, he said, you should apply for content career. So I went and applied for content career, and surprisingly enough, I got it. So,
Wow.
but
Yeah, no,
Fish,
that's huge. Just having content creator title just brings so much attention to just your channel. People will ask, what's my YouTube? I'm like, man, I'm from TikTok. I'm trying to get my YouTube out there. I love whenever they ask for my YouTube and be like, oh, you have 300 something subs. I'm like, yeah, no, that's not.
yeah, like my YouTube, they'll ask for my YouTube, and I'm like, you look at 197 followers or 200 followers, whatever I got, and they're like, what's this? And I said, you gotta go to Twitch, you gotta go to TikTok, and I said, you gotta look. I got 1.5 over here. We got 33 or 34 over here, and I said, Instagram maybe another four, and I said, I got about five all around. But you gotta think that YouTube is hard to grow on. I mean,
It really is.
it.
It really is.
I genuinely I started out on YouTube, and that is super hard to come by. And TikTok has been one of the greatest platforms to grow on, besides live streams. I They hate me. They hate the D1 crash out of BlueStar because you'll be going live, and then the next thing you know, you're banned for a week. I'm like, gosh dang, I didn't even do nothing, and
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. Like I said, I really do want to start growing my YouTube just because like I seen whenever I was younger, qualities that I had that, I could put to work. But yeah, TikTok has been easily the greatest community that I've ever seen for a content creator or a streamer, just even getting started. I do stream on Twitch every now and then. I think I have like 1.1K on Twitch, something like that. Affiliated on Twitch. Um, Originally my goal was to hit partner, and I was like, this is gonna suck.
oh yeah.
Like Twitch is, oh god, it's a mean platform, bro.
It is. It's a tough platform, and the great thing about Streamlabs, you can stream on multiple platforms if you buy the pack. So I stream on YouTube and Twitch. I tried Instagram, but it kind of glitched out, so I don't really do Instagram. I kind of wait for the bug to go away. Plus, there's not a lot of
Yeah.
content on Instagram, so you can't, besides like Reels, so that's where I post. I post a clip to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and then there's clips. So, uh, but I tried streaming on TikTok, and then I get banned all the time. That is one of my biggest issues. And the last time I got banned, they deleted my account, and
Wow.
my heart dropped because it happened while on stream, and I'm like, whoa, okay. And then
Yeah.
I appealed it, and they gave it back. I'm like, well, I can't go live because they'll just delete my account because when we're banned, I'm screwed. So.
I was scared of that too, to be honest. I kept getting banned. I think it was hateful behavior, but I was so genuine to people that I was like, where was the hateful behavior? Is it killing them with kindness?
It's the
Like I'm hoping
automatic
people
stuff
remember
at this
it,
point. It's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I kind of wish it was under American supervision, just because I feel like they wouldn't do that.
Hmm.
Like I said, TikTok has changed my career around.
Yeah,
It really
TikTok.
has.
The one problem with me, I suck at editing. No matter what I do, I don't know. Do you do your own editing or?
Yeah, I do. So I do my own editing. I did have a couple of people show me some ins and outs. Just better quality. My boy, okay, Muzzy. He's really, really talented with the streaming effects, the editing, and he was at like 2,000 followers whenever I met him. He is now pushing 45,000 followers on TikTok because his views are so amazing because his videos are great.
Mm,
His videos are really great. And I really want to shout him out as well because he gave me some streaming effects and he helped my quality get bigger and
mm-hmm.
better. Um, he saw a lot of potential in me, is what he said.
Yeah, the thing with me is most of my graphics are made by my buddy Lego, and I had a star, and it's slowly gotten to what it is now. It used to be very low quality. It used to have a white back screen, and then now it's stars in the back, and then now on T-shirts and putting BlueStar in the middle, and then changing the what it looks like. It's changed a lot, and
Yeah.
it's I've never personally been good at editing whatsoever, especially graphics. Videos, I'm okay, but it's nothing like top tier for other people.
And that's another thing is I have talents with videos, graphic designing and stuff like that. And as you were mentioning, having, designs and putting them on t-shirts, that's literally the only thing that's keeping me away from being able to put out merch. Um, Streaming has always been where I excelled, and then content creation was where I struggled, and I started, you know, asking for help a lot. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was seeing other people's videos and even just walking, hey, how, I would just, kind of eventually sit there and practice, make sure the quality's good. I've even, made my wife upset because, I sat there for an hour and a half editing one measly video and I'm like, it has to have no flaws. It can't have any flaws or else it's gonna flaw.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've pushed a little bit, but then I don't put the time in that I should to really sit down, edit every second of a video. Like I take my clips off Twitch and then I just put them on. I put text over it, stack them, and then there's my clip, whatever, and it's just like a funny moment, and it's quick and easy to do. But sitting down and really taking the time to do it is probably my biggest issue coming into editing.
Yeah, at first I started editing videos, putting about 5 to 10 minutes. I was like, yo, this video is tough. put it out, it wouldn't give shit for views, 300, 400 views. And now, I average that 1,000, 100,000, 10K, it fluctuates, but it's always 1,000 at a peak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to be honest, I've never really, you know, put too much in the editing until I knew I wanted to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I still would say I don't take content creation seriously. I want to, and that's eventually what's gonna happen as I brought my wife back into her, her streaming, her content creation mindset. Getting her a setup tomorrow. We actually went and looked at it today. It's really nice. Like I'm gonna be helping her, and of course, Muzzy said he'll help in any ways that he possibly can.
Yeah, the thing with me when I started 75 Hard, I ended up losing uh, a girl that I honestly thought was in game, and that kind of messed a lot of content creation up. Focused because I was focusing too hard on content creation, and I would get upset. I was not getting enough sleep. The balance between work, 75 Hard content was a big issue for me. So that ended up causing some problems, and then had to let some things go. But now I'm getting through 75 Hard, and everything's gotten better now because I can balance stuff more than just 2 weeks. So, uh,
Right.
but that's just how life is. But one more question I got for you. Is there a game that you're looking at to start playing, or are you just wanting to stick to Fish for Roblox from
Honestly,
now on?
so I have seen in the Fish content creator chat. I'm really excited. I was so ready for Beaks. Beaks failed me. I'm hoping that Dig doesn't do the same thing. I've already, talked to the people getting content creator and Dig, and I want to see where that goes. If that flops, I'm sticking the Fish and I'm not touching any other platform. Any type of game. Content creating on Rivals, I feel like you have to be good at the game
Mm-hmm.
to create content and have people watch you. Um, but yeah, no, right now Fish is the greatest looking stream and content creating scene for you.
Yeah, I've kind of stepped away from Roblox. I mean not Roblox, but Fish. I've been in and out recently because the C2 that kind of killed a
Yeah.
lot of it. I don't know what your opinion is on C2, but my personal opinion, it sucked, and a lot of my viewers thought it sucked. So it kind of killed
I
a lot
agree.
of viewership for me.
I definitely agree. Some of the rod buffs were pretty bad too.
And the
I
nurse.
don't. Yeah, the rod buffs and the rod nerfs. Just why are we buffing training rod?
Oh yeah.
Please tell me why we're buffing training rod.
And
We're
why we're
nerfing
buffing and
traffic.
nerfing Fish too. Like,
Yeah, and
why are we
honestly,
moving secret fish to exotic? I was trading these fish. I was getting jolly crystallized dragons and trading them for a lot. Chocolate dragons, trading them for a lot. Scyllas and all the
yeah,
frozen dragons. I'm like, now they're worth nothing. And I'm like,
honestly, man. And now every crazy phantom eggs because they're only gotten on weekends, or they're looking for Nessies because they're no longer in the game, or they're looking for the Moby because it's so rare to get.
mm,
Um, but yeah, no, Fish has disappointed me in some ways, but Fish has also came in clutch, and I really feel like they can keep doing what they're doing and probably relive their community.
yeah. One thing with me is that when I had all that going on, I kind of took a little bit of like a week break, and C2 came out like as soon as it happened, and then the next week there was another update. Then when I came back, there was another update. I'm like,
They
there's too
update
many
way too.
updates. You guys were doing like a month, once a month, and then you do three in a month. I'm like, come, what are you doing? I said, heck, I got
Yeah,
so much to accomplish here. And then the rod
yeah.
nerfs, the rod buffs, the fish. I'm like, come
I was
on,
so
man.
upset when they nerfed the absolute, I don't even know how to explain it, but whenever I first touched Seraphic Rod, That ride was literally like a script. I've never scripted in my entire life. You can ask any of my viewers, any stuff like that. I've never scripted in my entire life, but that was like an auto catch. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah.
seraphic rod, the beam would, bring you up to about 90%, and then boom, fish is caught. Doesn't matter what fish it is, that's where it is. And they nerfed tryhard rod recently to sparkling and shiny is no longer either that 50% guaranteed.
Hmm.
You don't get that sparkling shiny like you used to. They changed tentacle surge to blessed. Like there's just a lot of stuff that they could do better on.
And that's just how a lot of people are going to be. They're going to think how what they think the game's going to be. And honestly, I think how the community has reacted to a lot of these updates, it's kind of shown what they've been. So,
There was an update that had like I think it was like 2.1 million people interested, and it was the Great Dreamer update. It was so overhyped. I think it was 1.1 million for that. I feel like that was really the biggest downfall was adding that Mariana's Veil. The Calm Zone was really good, but I don't know why we're adding submarines.
oh yeah. And then the volcano update, the live event, I did a special. I said I'm going to stay up all night and stream it. And then it kept getting pushed back and pushed back. I'm sitting there, I'm like,
Yeah,
I've sat here all night and you're telling me it's getting pushed back? And every update
that's
they're doing, push
insane.
it back. I'm like, I've been up all night. You don't understand.
Yeah, nah, it really is crazy. And that's the same thing for Beaks. Beaks was held so long. I think they were like, oh, we're gonna release it at this time. And they released it the next day, early in the morning. And Fish, I feel like they just update the game way too fast.
Oh yeah.
Second C was probably one of their worst updates that I've seen. Just, nerfing negative 50% to every single stat is absolutely insane.
Yeah,
And,
it's
all these rods that we sat here and worked hard for and money grinded and stuff like that, we don't even get to use anymore because we don't want to sit there and shake for a million years. I really do like the effect that they recently added, which is the whenever you hop on a controller and you go to cast a fish, you can literally just sit there and tap A or X, whatever
mm-hmm.
platform they're on. And to be honest, they did really good. They did really good with that. But yeah, no, I just really don't like C2.
Yeah,
Although that is the best XP farming spot, I don't like how they added C2.
I'm not a C2 person. I'm gonna have to like steer away from C2. I tried it. I'm like, screw this. I'm going back to everything else. And I said I'd rather just keep catching crystallized sea dragons at this point.
At that point, man, I'm just trying to spawn events. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna go and I'm gonna egg or cracking. I'm gonna see a challenge. I'm gonna go get it with, I'm gonna try to get this mutation on it. I'm gonna go try to catch up with this rod. Honestly, man, like that's where the content comes in. Just being able to even try hard rod, bringing in, that really really small bar,
Hmm.
and then they recently buffed the bar but nerfed the rod. It didn't make sense to me. But honestly, yeah, no, there's a lot of disappointments and things that they did do good on.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, man, it's been a pleasure having you on. We're about 54 minutes deep into this podcast, and I appreciate having you on, man.
Really appreciate you for hitting me up to be on here. Really big opportunity, and I'm glad that I got to meet another like-minded content creator. If you do want to get some future collabs in, I could definitely find some time for that. Like you
I'd be
said,
down.
I could even help you with some editing and stuff like that. Um,
I'd 100% be
just so you
down for all
can
that.
have that for sure. for sure.
I'm always trying to look to grow, and that's one thing how I reach out to people. And I still kind of touch into my old COD scene because I got my old players, my old coaches, my old owners that I know, and I still kind of tap into that. But
Right.
I've been focusing more on getting into more of the Roblox scene, trying to get my name out there, seeing how to grow in this scene. Because I knew how to grow in COD, but this is a whole different community. So
Oh yeah.
I'd like to get my name out there, interview people, and get to know their story and see if I can get anything off of them.
And that's a really good mindset to have. You know what I'm saying? Feed off of others and manifest it in your own way.
Oh yeah. Well, do you got any socials you'd like to plug before we head out here, so everybody can hit you up wherever they can find you?
So my DMs are always open. I do have Twitter, I do have TikTok, YouTube, anything. I'm probably on every single platform you could possibly think of. ZeemoRBX on all socials.
There you guys have it. You guys know where to find me. It's Real Blue Star Gaming on everything besides Twitter because they think Real Blue Star Gaming is too long, so it's underscore Real Blue Star underscore. And you got anything you like to say before we head out of here?
It's just, if you have dreams, man, follow them. Don't let up. You know, opportunities are short, and you may miss your biggest opportunity in your life just because of one incident. Um, Make sure that you don't fall back on something that happened in the past. Focus on what's in the present, and you're gonna be surprised what's being held for you.
Oh yeah. Well, I appreciate having you on, man. And I'll see
Appreciate
you
you.
guys later. Adios.
Right.